Airlines have been hit especially hard during the pandemic. Now the industry is facing mounting safety concerns ahead of the inauguration. The FAA is warning of an increase in passengers disrupting flights with threatening or even violent behavior. NBC News correspondent Cal Perry joins us now with more on this. So, Cal, good morning. Good to see you. Airlines have had to deal with enforcing mask policies for months, which has not been easy. Now we've got these new safety concerns in the wake of last week's riot at the Capitol. How are authorities responding?
Well, look, the FAA has stepped up in the last 24 hours and levied a $35,000 fine on anyone who interferes with members of the cabin crew, or if there is an assault, be it verbal or physical, that could come with jail time. And airlines are expanding their own no-fly list. We've had people banned, over 1,600 people banned since May just for these mask violations. But the problem is getting worse. There are increasing incidents happening across the country's airlines. We've seen an uptick, especially around the week that we saw violence at the U.S. Capitol. Just on United Airlines alone, at least 60 people put on that United no-fly list in just 1 week. The nature of the problem is changing as well. It's not just one person who's misbehaving. It's now groups of people. Take a listen to what Taylor Garland, who works for the Association of Flight Attendants, had to say.
Flight attendants have been dealing with mask compliance since the mask policies went into effect in late April, early May. But the last week, we've seen a stark increase in passengers who are trying to challenge those mask compliance policies. And so flight attendants have had to deal with that on board, as well as some mob mentality behavior by people who are traveling in large groups and want to create a ruckus in the cabin. And that is dangerous for other passengers on board, as well as the flight crew and the security of the overall flight.
Dangerous for everybody on the airline, obviously on the aircraft, when you have 12, 14 people refusing to wear their mask, causing a serious concern, Joe.
And Cal, several airlines are banning guns in luggage for passengers flying into D.C. Tell us more about that and any other security preparations they're making.
It's really interesting. We're going to see this augmented security as people fly into D.C. around the inauguration, something that I'll age myself a little bit with. People may remember after 9/11, you weren't allowed to get out of your seat for an hour, either before landing or after takeoff. That's going to be in effect, and you'll see more airline personnel in and around the airports. They're going to do, they say, a better job also of coordinating with people at the local airports to make sure that people are wearing their masks and checking people at security. And if they find that there are behavior issues there, they can refuse entry onto the airline as well.
It's amazing to think we need more security right now with all the security we have put in place over the last 20 years. Cal, thanks so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.